Hey, you snacks, welcome back. My name is Jack, and it's time to read some more Reddit stories. I got given a hat by Connor because I've been such a good boy in my little dungeon reading the stories. So, yeah. Anyway, let's begin.
This story by Nearby Volume 7067. Would I be the a-hole for dumping my girlfriend after she ignored my calls and messages and went clubbing while I was undergoing emergency surgery? I'm 22 male and my girlfriend, 22 female, have been together for 5 years. We've been together since high school, and until recently, I've always considered her to be my future wife. I've even bought a ring and was planning on proposing over the coming months. Well, last weekend it was my girlfriend's best friend's birthday. She and her friends booked a private lounge at a club. Obviously, I didn't go since 1, I wasn't invited, and 2, I hate clubbing or anything associated with that. I was actually looking forward to spending an evening alone and just binging Netflix or something. Well, my girlfriend left around 9 p.m., and I just crashed on the couch and watched some YouTube. Well, around 11 p.m., I started to feel this distinct stomach pain, the same pain you experience when someone hits you in the nuts. It wasn't bad at first, and I just thought my body was playing some tricks on me. But in the span of about 5 minutes, the pain just kept getting worse, until I was basically stuck in the fetal position on the couch. Again, initially I just thought the pain would go, but then I pulled down my pants and it felt like my right testicle was starting to swell. The moment I tried to get up and grab my phone to inspect whatever the hell was happening to me, I just collapsed to the floor. That was probably the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Imagine being pelted in the nuts over and over again. I did manage to crawl to the table next to the couch to get my phone. I immediately tried calling my girlfriend, but she declined my call. I then texted her that something was wrong and she should come home immediately. Note, the club she went to was like a 5-minute walk from our apartment. I just put the phone down and started throwing up because of the pain. After throwing up for like a minute, it felt like the pain started to cool down a bit, and I grabbed my phone again. That's when I saw her response. She just replied with a, "What is it?" with a disappointed meh face. I tried calling her again, but as expected, she just declined again. I then texted her that I need to go to the hospital now. She then asked for what, and I just replied with, "My balls hurt." I then just dialed for emergency services. I explained my situation to the emergency responder, and she asked if there was somebody that could drive me to the hospital, and I stupidly said yes. I thought my girlfriend would be home soon, and she would drive me to the hospital. I felt embarrassed to call an ambulance because my balls hurt. After I told the emergency responder this, she then told me she would call me again in 10 minutes to make sure I was being driven to the hospital. I then put down the phone and went back to vomiting on our carpet. Again, after the pain went away for a bit, I checked my phone and saw that my girlfriend just responded with laughing emojis. I again tried to call her, but as expected, she just declined again. She texted me that this wasn't the time to play games, and she then told me that if I texted or called her again, she would block my number. I again tried calling her, but she declined again. And when I tried calling her a second time, I realized she actually blocked me. I went back to curling up on the floor, and now I started shivering. At this point, I didn't care about being embarrassed and just called emergency services again and asked for an ambulance. It felt like an eternity, but the ambulance eventually came and rushed me to the hospital. I don't remember much of the surgery since I was sedated, but I remember waking up eventually, and my right testicle was being stitched together. The doctor informed me that I had a testicular torsion, and I was extremely lucky to reach the hospital in time. I could have easily been forced to surgically remove my testicle. I checked my phone and saw the missed calls and messages my girlfriend left me. In summary, she came home from clubbing and smelled the vomit in our apartment. When she saw the vomit on our carpet, she got mad and tried searching the apartment to find me. When she realized I wasn't there, only then did it hit her that I was actually being serious. I just texted her in which hospital I was staying in and my room number and went to sleep. I woke up the next morning and saw my girlfriend sleeping on a couch next to my bed. After she woke up, she started bombarding me with apologies. She thought I was joking, that I was trying to ruin their night, etc. I didn't have the energy to argue, so I just kept quiet. I was beyond hurt by what she did, and I wanted to break up with her then and there. Why the hell would somebody ignore messages where their partner is begging them to come home? Not only that, she stayed in the club until 3 a.m. and didn't even consider going home to check on me. She did stay with me in the hospital for the remaining 2 days I was admitted there and did take good care of me, but I was still beyond mad at her. Ever since coming home yesterday, I've been wanting to dump her. But at the same time, I feel like she genuinely thought I was joking and made a mistake. I feel conflicted and don't know how to proceed in this situation. Would I be the a-hole if I dumped her? Am I overreacting? How would you guys navigate this mess? Oh, how it is easy for one to see anyone's perspective in this and be like, you know what, I agree with you. You are totally right in what you feel right now. Comments are offering that sound criticism. With OP thinking she genuinely thought it was a joke, yes, she genuinely thought you were joking. Getting a text that your balls hurt is not exactly information that is going to cause her to leave to come home. She was probably thinking you were hinting around that you wanted to get frisky and she wasn't leaving her party for that. The two of you should have a code that indicates when you are being serious, like 911 or something. Using it in a non-emergency situation would be a break-upable offense. And look, with it being a 5-minute walk away from the apartment, I kinda don't blame the girlfriend for perceiving this, that he's like, hey, I'm only a short walk away, why not come over and have a bit of fun, then you can head straight back to the party. More people not at all on OP's side. You're the a-hole. Why is it that you're comfortable writing a detailed description of the excruciating pain, but all she got was, come home, my balls hurt? No sane person would actually interpret that as a real emergency. I doubt any of these self-righteous Redditors that think she should have immediately run off to check on you would have done that without having the full dramatic story in front of them beforehand. So what are these self-righteous Redditors saying? Well, even if she thought you were joking, you deserved a phone call. Your partner should be worried about you versus, why are you ruining my night? Have you ever done this before? She could have called to confirm something was or was not wrong when you said hospital. I would really consider, if you want to continue this relationship, she prioritized partying over a phone call, heard hospital, and still blocked you, and was planning on yelling about the vomiting. Others agreeing that if you were in her shoes, having fun with your friends, you would still go check on her. Why? Because you love her and want to make sure she's okay. Imagine yourself blocking your girlfriend when she says she needs help just to have fun for one night. I hope it helps you realize that no one actually loves you, deals with this situation the way she did. She showed no concern, no empathy, and no effort. The fact that her first reaction to finding your puke is to be mad instead of being worried about you is insane. Imagine if she puked while she was sick. Would you be mad at her? Now, OP clarifies in a quick edit, just to clarify, no, I never had an issue with her going out in the first place or have ever pulled pranks on her to come home from a night out. And now look, as much as I want to defend the girlfriend here for the fact that when you text someone my balls hurt, it doesn't sound like a real emergency, but he did say hospital first. Also, I think it's unfair to criticize his descriptive words of his pain in the text messages because he was currently dealing with a pain level that his body was resorting to throwing up to try to distract him from how painful it was feeling. Like, we really have to consider what the body is going through when it thinks, hey, you know, the best way to resolve this pain I'm feeling is to distract you with different pain. That said, is it enough to justify literally ending an entire relationship? Well, in the update, first of all, I would like to clear up some misconceptions brewing in the comment section of my last post. No, I have never pulled any malicious pranks on my girlfriend to get her to come home early from a night out or anything. Neither do I have an issue with her going out, as long as she doesn't come home at like 6 a.m. And no, I've never blown up her phone like that while she was out with friends. We usually go out together since we share the same friend groups. Here are mine and her messages from WhatsApp in order, since people thought I just texted her, my balls hurt or something. Me, after she declined my first 2 calls. Please come home, something is wrong. Her, I can't talk right now. What is it? With the annoyed meh emoji. Me, after trying to call her again. I need to go to the hospital. Her, multiple question marks. What? Me, again after calling her twice. My balls hurt. Please come now. Something is wrong. Her, multiple laughing emojis. Me, tried calling her again twice after calling emergency services. Her, I swear don't bother me again or I'm blocking you. Let me freaking enjoy my night out. Me, tried calling her again twice and got blocked. At this point, the pain was so bad to try anything with her anymore and I just called an ambulance. Her next message after unblocking me at 2 a.m. OP, why the hell is there vomit in the living room and where the hell are you? Why is the front door unlocked if you left somewhere? She then went into a full mental breakdown as she realized I was being serious about going to the hospital. Over 70 messages. Now, yes, it was stupid of me to expect her to drive me to the hospital since she was drinking, but again, in that type of pain, you don't think clearly. I think I needed her more for moral support, and I did it out of pure instinct. Now, also, not immediately calling an ambulance was also stupid of me. I was in a lot of pain, but stupidly, at the time, I thought that whatever I was going through would eventually calm down and driving to the hospital would be better than calling an ambulance. Also, in hindsight, me being embarrassed about calling an ambulance over my balls was definitely also really stupid. Now, the amount of mental gymnastics some of you did in my comments to paint me as some sort of dweeb or emotionally needy person for bothering my girlfriend was truly mind-blowing to me. I promise you, if my girlfriend was in my position and I ignored her, none of you would be defending me. So now for the update. Thanks for all of those who wished me a speedy recovery. I'm doing much better now. Not being able to go to work for the next 3 weeks is definitely a bummer. I work for my dad's construction company, and my job requires lifting a lot of heavy weights. I'm also prohibited from having any freaky time for the next 2 to 3 weeks as well. I might have also developed some trauma due to the pain. I randomly get the sensation again, and it's driving me nuts. See what I did there? As for me and my girlfriend, it's complicated. As many of you and my mum told me, 5 years is definitely a long time to be just throwing away without having a proper conversation with her. So I did just that. I told her how hurt I felt by everything. I mentioned the following points. Her ignoring my messages and declining my calls. Yes, clubs are loud, but where I'm from, there are smoking areas where you can definitely have a conversation over the phone. How she blocked me after I tried calling her. Her not checking on me once, even though the club she went to was only a 5-minute walk from our apartment. Her being angry about the vomit instead of being concerned. Now, after hearing that, she got defensive and told me that I could have conveyed my situation better and that she genuinely thought I was joking. She was drunk and wasn't thinking clearly. She also told me that it couldn't have been that painful and I was over-exaggerating. I then told her, yes, I could have phrased my messages better, and I apologized for that. But I then described the pain I was in and told her that I barely had the strength to text her, let alone send her a detailed description of what was happening to me, and definitely couldn't think straight throughout everything. After hearing what I said, she started crying and apologizing for what she did. She told me that if she knew how serious it was, we wouldn't have been having this conversation. She then also apologized for her being mad over the vomit. According to her, she was drunk and tired and was just expressing frustration. I then asked her why she thought I was joking and if she was cheating on me because this was seriously out of character for her. Hence why I immediately trusted her with this. She started crying harder and she looked like I just slapped her in the face. She told me that she just thought I was being insecure about her being in the club with a bunch of guys and no, she wasn't cheating on me and would never do something like that. We then hugged for a solid 10 minutes after that. The next part was really hard for me, but I told her I need some space to gather my thoughts and told her she needs to stay with her parents for the time being. She then immediately started having a mental breakdown and asked if I was breaking up with her. I told her I wasn't sure and needed time to see if I still trusted her after all of this, and what she did was beyond disrespectful. How could I trust someone with my life after they pulled something like this? I then told her that we are young and this mess was mostly caused by our immaturity. This entire situation was an important life lesson for the both of us, regardless if we stayed together. After begging a bit more, she then put her head down and started packing a few essentials. Before leaving, she told me she would be willing to do anything to make up for this, and that I could take as much time as I needed. She then gave me a big kiss and left. That was 2 days ago, and this is where we currently stand. I still give her updates on my healing, but besides that, we don't contact each other. I'm really torn right now. I still don't have that trust in her, but her owning up to her mistake shows that she knows she screwed up and is remorseful. This is definitely something out of the ordinary for her, but there will have to be major boundaries and new rules set. I can think of the following. 1, if she ever blocks me again for anything, I'm blocking herself from ever seeing me again. If she ignores my messages, I will not be tolerating that anymore. 3, if she goes out alone again, she has to pick up if I call regardless of the situation. For, as many of you suggested, having an emergency code like hospital or something could have probably been implemented. Now, I'm not going to abuse any of these boundaries, but I just want peace of mind knowing that my partner has my best interest at heart, even when she is physically not around me, but I don't know. Again, I just want to thank you guys for everything, and this whole experience was definitely an eye-opener for me. But should I get back together with her? If yes, would my demands be reasonable, and could I add something more? Or would I be the a-hole if I dumped her over this whole saga? So, comments are saying I might be in the minority here, but if you feel like it, then maybe it's worth trying to fix the relationship. I don't think those were fake tears. I think she is genuine. Frankly, you know her better than we do, so if anyone can tell if those were fake tears or not, it's you. Others saying, do you still love her? Would you be able to forget the past and start fresh from here and never bring up the incident again? As for your rules, 1 and 4 are good, the other 2 get you into controlling territory. If you have to go that far to save a relationship, is it even worth saving? Now, I don't know too much about that. I feel like the other rules they're not really controlling as much as just, it's comforting to know that they're there. I mean, this guy is subtly admitting to the fact he's experienced trauma from this, so I think it's understandable he's wanting these not so much to use them whenever he wants, but just to know that that option is there for him so he doesn't go through the same pain. Now, OP responds here saying, okay, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I love her to death. We've been best friends for 12 years and have been together for 5. I'll try everything to make this work, but then in an edit, if I choose to get back together with her, which as it stands now, is unlikely. Because yeah, it seems a lot of the comments are making OP think the other way. So many are saying she isn't your friend. A friend comes to help. She laughed at the situation. Probably she was grinding on someone. Now, in a most recent comment from 2 months later, someone asks, update us again, lol, how are things going? How are the boys doing, if you know what I mean? Lol, hope all is well. Where OP concludes to us, thank you, me and my boys are doing fine. I'm not posting an update since I had a lot of people call me a bitch in my DMs. I've broken up with her, and I'm doing much better. So that's how it concludes. What do you think? Do you think this was too far of a reach to break up over a 5-year relationship? All because he was begging for help with misunderstandings towards someone who was clearly very intoxicated themselves. At the same time, though, I do want to validate that he was in genuine pain and that should have been taken seriously regardless. Like, all she had to do was call or just go for a quick walk to check in on him, and then she could just blast him for being an a-hole. I don't know, gang. Where do you stand? Now for this totally light story. One of our friends, 25 female, heard my girlfriend, 22 female, calling me a racial slur. Now my friend group is shunning her and trying to get us to break up. How can I diffuse the situation without revealing the embarrassing truth? So for context, I'm brown and my girlfriend is white. Most of our friend group is white as well and fairly progressive. So I've always had a submissive streak, and my girlfriend was more than happy to accept this both inside and outside the bedroom. Additionally, she's just so sweet and amazing and is just so accepting of who I am. Honestly, both on an intimate and non-intimate level, she is the best relationship I've ever had by far, and a few months in trusting her. I had always had a fetish, which I've always been really into, but also have never told anyone because it's very taboo. Like, people would disown me if I revealed it taboo. Namely, I'm into race play. I like the idea of being in a power dynamic where race is a topic, as well as the idea of being colonized or conquered by a white girl or whatever. I understand that usually for these sort of fantasies the genders are flipped, but I've always been really into the idea for a while. I felt comfortable enough to kind of confess it to my girlfriend. She said she'd try it with me. She was really initially kind of uncomfortable and nervous since she's a fairly liberal white girl and she felt guilty. But apparently, seeing that I reacted well to it let her push through this, and it became one of the cornerstones of our intimate life. I'm obviously a lot more into it than she is, but I think she's also gotten into it because of how it makes me act, apparently. We've been engaging in this kink for a few months now. Anyways, that's most of the background info out of the way. On to the relevant part of the story. So basically, me and my girlfriend were hosting our friend group at our apartment for a party. Soon it was winding down and everyone left. Me and my girlfriend went to our bedroom to get ready for bed, and she casually called me a slur, pretty loudly, because, again, we thought everyone left. Apparently, one of our friends, 25 female, had not actually left yet. Instead, she came back inside our house since she forgot her keys. She heard everything and came upstairs to yell at my girlfriend, who was horrified. I quickly tried to defend her, saying it was just a joke, but our friend didn't accept that and said I was a victim of racist abuse and just had Stockholm Syndrome. Eventually, I got her to leave, but the situation got worse. Our friend group chat has blown up, calling my girlfriend all sorts of names and telling me to dump her. They even tried confronting me at my job when I got off for an intervention without the racist. For her part, my girlfriend has been absolutely catatonic. Like I said, my girlfriend is a fairly liberal white girl, so being called racist by all her friends has been really damaging to her. She's been crying, asking if she really was racist and if she was abusing me for taking part in my fantasies. I don't know, it's crazy. I feel really guilty because I'm seeing what all of this does to my girlfriend. I've tried telling our friends several times I'm not a victim and that we just like to engage in dark humor with one another. But they're not biting and sending me articles about how racist jokes are still racist and punching down or some stuff. I feel like literally all I can do at this point is to restore my girlfriend's reputation and tell the truth. But the truth would be so embarrassing to me. And like, if it got back to people within my community, I think I might legit get disowned or something. I'm so confused on what to do. Do I just fall on my sword? Or is there some sort of easy way out of this situation where I don't have to reveal my depraved fantasies, but my girlfriend keeps her reputation? So, where do you start, man? Straight to the most important comment. Tell them the embarrassing truth. I can't believe you're letting her take the heat for this a second longer. Be embarrassed so your friends don't think your girlfriend is racist. Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, she's literally in this situation because of you, man. Why are you not stepping up? Like, you even have people in the comments saying, ew, the fact that she's willing to call you slurs in the first place is disgusting, so I don't care if she gets shunned, but you should still explain to your friends. Though others want to argue, you need to put these white saviors in their place. Their behavior is problematic as they are now trying to tell a person of color how they should feel and act in the name of helping. They aren't helping, they are just causing problems. Tell them they are racist by thinking that they know what is better for a person of color. Turn it around on them. Which, yeah, it's kind of interesting how when you try to explain the situation in the first place, people assume you have Stockholm Syndrome. Like, that's a pretty conclusive statement to make about someone's mental state just because of one thing you overheard. Others think the idea that OP's ever going to actually, step up is a doomed venture. You commenters think a submissive, seemingly non-assertive man will suddenly stand up to his friend group in defense of his girlfriend, Lamau. I mean, yeah, look, considering there's been no updates on this, I'm not surprised that this might be the most accurate comments to have made. So what would you do in this situation, though? I mean, would you step up to the plate? I kind of feel like you have an obligation to. Like, the girlfriend has been doing this for him. It's not been her own joy, it's been his. Her only joy from this is from him liking it. But I don't know, maybe I'm missing something here. Let me know what you think down below. In the meantime, though, we'll end today's video there. Thank you as always for watching. Love your face, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.